Yo, what's up guys, Draconio here with another Dragon Ball Legends video. Right now, as you can see, I'm here on Goresh's tier list. And this is not about Goresh, or this video here is not about Goresh, but rather somebody I had wrote in the comment section here. Called the No Longer Exiled 9393. As you can see, 65 replies I had with him about the last 9 days, so that was a long discussion. The reason why I wanted to make this video is, for one, I just found this whole situation funny. But to give you guys a bit of context, this guy is having his own YouTube channel, and I've seen some videos of him last year, and the best example for this is if you look at this title, it's like Super Baby 2 destroys Cheetah in Dragonball Legends. And you're like, now what did the guy do? How did he cheat? He did nothing really. Like, for this guy, it was even cheating if you want to clash against him. That's why I would personally see him as Rage Beta, which I would even call him Rage Beta Exiled before. Now he's no longer Exiled, which, funny name change, but anyway, I didn't even know that before I went to the comment section with him, because first it was a normal discussion, but then he made some points where I was like, wait, I know this guy from the way he talks and argues. I was like, oh, I've seen the name before. Anyway, this was the comment. That was nothing crazy, by the way. That was just a normal reply. He had here, Revive Vegeta is a bit too high, you should be AFC, since he himself is only really dominant with Saiyan Saga. He got power crept a good bit. Kefla's way too high on the list, because she's not tanking well and everything, and then the tech force should be number 5, which, normal comment upon him, nothing bad. And I just replied to him here because I like to discuss things in YouTube comments. I think it's a nice thing to do. Sometimes you have interesting discussions. Sometimes for example, faced someone with different opinion about Naruto Vegeta back then, and then we fought to see who maybe was right or wrong, and I agreed to him that, hey, there were things you were right about, and he agreed to me that things were right about. So I think it's a nice thing to do. It's fun, I would say. Even then you maybe get to know some other people who like to play Legends. And I just replied to him because I think Revival Vegeta isn't as bad as he thinks. That Kefla, while having lower defenses, and I agree that she should be lower on Goresh's list, isn't just simply completely frail. And just for the record, I'm not going to go on all these comments here because this will go forever. But I will go some major points he made in his discussion with me. Like here, for example, that Revival Vegeta loses his life almost as fast as Elf Paper Cooler, regardless of equipment. Which is, yeah, a bit of a downplay for Revival Vegeta to compare him with Cooler. But he gets carried by Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, which, if you didn't notice, and any of you didn't notice, everyone gets carried by the triple Ultras. Like, Kaioken Goku would be irrelevant without Namek Goku, I'm gonna say that right now. So, same with the Tech Force, Reliant being on Namek Goku or even Ultra Super Saiyan 4, everyone is. Like, it's the top 3, a big gap, and the rest. So this argument is kind of irrelevant. And then to compare his damage with the Ultras is like, okay, no one does more damage than, especially when it comes to burst damage, than Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta right now. That's not a comparison you should do. If you think like that, that's dumb. Then we go for him, he's like, Revival Vegeta wasn't built to be a pure defense unit, which I didn't even say that, by the way. He does die quickly against characters who power crept and like the top 2, blah blah blah. Then he makes a comparison where Kaioken Goku gets more damage guard, and then he writes, Ultra 4 full power freezer quite regularly. Notice with Vegeta, he doesn't even need his death beam when he can one-shot him with an ult or get crippled by a blue card. And You know, the thing is, if you look at Kaioken and Revival Vegeta, they have similar damage guard numbers at the start and similar defense stats. So if a raw ultimate is killing Revival Vegeta, which it doesn't, then Kaioken Goku also dies around the same, like Revival Vegeta. Like especially if you're building up Revival Vegeta with his unique gauge 3 times, he has 200% damage guard. Kaioken Goku is at 180. He will live that. If he still dies, then Kaioken Goku is kinda in a also dying situation. And that's obviously Kaioken Goku without building up his unique gauge. So, and this is not me saying Kaioken Goku is a bad tank. I just think he is downplaying Revival Vegeta a lot, and at the same time a bit glazing Kaioken. A bit. Not much, but a bit. Then he made some claim here. This was more about Kefla, because he was like, Kefla is just super frail, it dies in one combo. Just what Virgil's showcase of the Tech Force, he went against a Super Juice 7-star Kefla, triple Zenkai buffed, and he got one shot, which that happened. Against the Tech Force, that happened. What he didn't mention is that Virgil's Tech Force were at 14 stars, with double Zenkai buffs, and Kefla's only 7, triple Zenkai buffed. I wonder who's tanking better. Yeah, that's the kind of way he argues. He sometimes disregards a lot of other things that matter. Yeah. And the thing is, since he talked about Kaioken being such a good unit when it comes to surviving, I've pointed out that there was also in the same video a Kaioken at 7 stars who got killed in 3 cards by the Tag Force. Guess where he immediately switched to? Then obviously that Kaioken Goku didn't have support / equips to stay alive. Look who switched up the moment it was about his unit. So yeah. And then he's like, what you're suggesting is that Elf Cooler no-diffs Kaioken, which never even, not even close. I said anything like this. I even said that this is not really an argument to make because that's unfair. Because comparing a 7 stars to a 14 stars unit and to say the other one is better is not fair. Like the Tech Force are more accessible at higher stars, that's true. But if you want to compare Kefla to the Tech Force, and you're comparing him at 7 versus 14, that's not fair. Anyway, then later on, what else did he do? I'm not gonna go again over the comments, but some things he wrote. It's easier to tank as him if you run him on his meta team. He can stay up potentially onto timer count. With Vegeta, not so much, which, I mean, we'll see later on in the fight if he managed to kill Revival Vegeta and if he survived to timer, if it even went to timer. And I talked about how my Revival Vegeta experience is different from his, and at this point we were going back and forth, and at some point that's not worth talking now anymore, so I was like, okay. And he's like, then you've clearly never gotten hit by the Ultra Super Saiyan Goku's blue card. As Revival Vegeta, he gets completely cooked. So does the Tech Force, who you wanted number 5. Like, I had moments where I get, like, what, 60-70% of my HP gone by a blue card, and then fainted, so I lost immediately. Revival Vegeta decides as Revival, I'm just gonna say that. And he's talking about how best units obviously make PvP easier, and why you wouldn't, obviously you should have the top Ultras from Part 3, whatever. And then I talked about which my team was for God rank. This was supposed to say Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Revival Vegeta Tech Force. This is the team I used to get God rank. And then he was like, then you clearly rely on Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and beating bots. Which, okay. And funny thing is, this is what he also wrote, if you have Revival Vegeta of over 6 stars, then your opinion is invalidated. You could have gotten Ultra Full Power Frieza instead. which, for the people who don't know me, I have both units. So that was funny to me in every regard, and it's like, why is my opinion invalidated when I have him over 6 stars? And you know what's more funny? If you're putting Revival Vegeta twice in one summon, you will have him over 6 stars because it was a triple Z power banner. So that doesn't make any sense no matter how you look at it. Then he later is, again, Revival Vegeta is made off of glass, you're glazing him, also Revival Vegeta is 12 stars, which is what I have. Jesus Christ, why waste money, little bro, could have 14 star Ultra 4 Power Freezer instead. I spent 0 money, I got in him 12 stars and 10k. If you want to watch my summon video, it's up on my channel, if you're interested. And again, and also 14 star Ultra 4 Power Freezer. Why people spend over 60k to manage that, so generally, is a wild statement for me, being not a guy who spends millions on Dragonball Legends. So really random comment from him. Anyway, skipping all about that because otherwise it will take forever to, like, talking about everything we wrote here will take forever. So at some point I was like, okay, we talked about also other things, so I was like, okay, this is my idea for him, that we should make a friend match, because sometimes you can fight in a PvP match and proven wrong. And I was like, those teams we're gonna run, because we talked about some units here, we're gonna skip that. Except for one thing I have to mention. He really said Kid Buu got glazed. Ultra Kid Buu, during part 1 and part 2 anniversary, was arguably #1, got glazed. Kid Buu never got the time to shine everybody. Never. The people who put him in #1 back then were all glazing him. Just so you know. I mean, this guy's obviously know everything in Legends, he's smart. But anyway, then he was talking about how he would destroy me, obviously, and everything, blah 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 blah. Which is a long ass comment for no reason. And he was like, I will fight you on one term, which is, if you attempt to play passively even once, you're losing all matches, which is okay. And then he's like, why would you even think of challenging a significantly stronger team? And he compared my Vegeta Clan team to his Ultra Super Saiyan Goku Full Power Freeze Attack Force team to Super Saiyan 2 Great Vegeta vs Perfect Cell. That's how bad he would think I would lose to him, and that I have to be a passive player, otherwise I wouldn't be as good. Which is a wild statement for somebody who doesn't even know who I am, but whatever. Then I said you should write the rules, so we can both follow them, and this is what he wrote. Actively attempted to PV in any way, which, fair point. Going for double sidesteps in close range, okay. Vanishing, switching, and then choosing to vanish again instead of pressing a card. Spending more than 5 time accounts doing nothing. Drop combos. That's right, guys. We wanted drop combos out of the match. In a thing about passive playstyle. A charging key outside of combos, which is interesting. And anything that involves you constantly trying to avoid interactions to get combos off, and then entering close range unnecessarily counts as being passive. Weird rules, I know. And yeah, so this is what I wrote about this, because some of these rules are just stupid, I'm gonna say that right now. The vanishing, switching, and then sidestep thing isn't allowed. Do you know why guys think, why I think this is a dumb rule? Because what you can just do is use Freezer, Death Beam from long range, I need to sidestep, and if he has a rush, that's a guaranteed hit, because I can switch and then sidestep again, that's against the rules. So what he made is a guaranteed rising rush hit rule for himself. You guys can already tell if you need a rule like this, you're not good at the game. No drop combo, I don't even have to explain why this is weird. No charging key outside of combos. Do you know who suffers from this the most? Revival Vegeta. The character he calls ass, and he needs to restrict him. Let that sink in. And yeah, and I have no idea what this means to go unnecessarily into close range, because everyone who does this has clearly an intention in mind. But do you know who has a favor in staying at long range? Ultra Freezer. So he needs a buff for Ultra Freezer, he needs a restriction for Revival Vegeta, and a guaranteed rush rule. That sounds bad and sad, no matter how you look at it. But I still agreed, by the way, because I knew I was gonna win anyway. Then he's like, oh, you so just admitted your characters are actually bad when you do nothing but PV spam. Bro. And now's the funny thing. The person who talks about I should have 14 stars Ultra Full Power Freezer or Vegeta, is like talking about like that he's not rich and has Ultra Super Saiyan Goku at 5 stars. I mean, not that every R doesn't exist in friendly battles, so everyone is 14 stars anyway, but he didn't know that because he's new to the game, obviously. Yeah, anyway, we agreed to time and place, and again, I agreed to his rules, and now I will show you the fights, and then, so you guys can see how it went, and then later you can see what the supply was after the fight.
Alright guys, so what I'm about to show you are the 3 fights I had against this guy. We're gonna analyze them and talk about some moments that happened regarding his rules and everything. As you guys can see here, this was 14 stars, everything, so equal footing. No one had like a star advantage. Obviously equips are different, but yeah. Wait, I'm gonna put the 3 times speed off.
Come close to me and you'll get
That alone, by the way, for someone who's calling me passive, it's funny to me that he would wait for me to attack him so that he can switch and go for area green. Person who complains about people being passive. Interesting. Anyway, it's me getting priority, normal combo as always. Now he managed to get me. Maybe put the speed up on a bit. Yeah, so normal combo, nothing happening specifically. So here's what happened. Obviously, I had no key and vanish with the tag force, and it was super obvious that he would go for a death beam right there. So I switched and dodged it because anyone would. Now obviously these matches are, and we're calling these matches later, and guess what he did afterwards in the YouTube comments? He complained actually that I vanished that. In his opinion, I should have switched, clicked a card knowing damn well he'd go for the death beam, and let myself get hit. That's how bad this guy is. He needs guaranteed ways to hit me to win. So obviously dodged, continued my combo. Also, I vanished. It was not a PV as far as I remember. Or maybe it was. I didn't really look. So here I rid him with a raw blue. I did half. Because he's like, Vegeta does no damage. Now, I could have done something else. Normally I wouldn't even go for a mid-range blast or strike here, because I knew he was gonna main. But since I'm not allowed to play passive, I decided, you know, whatever. Now look how much damage he does to me. That did like a little bit over half. And he was talking about how he would Revive Vegeta would get one shot. Any top 3 unit. Get cooked. And his raw blue ultimate with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta did half. So basically at that point I proved basically that Revive Vegeta is not as squishy as he's making out. Like he's probably fighting some low stars. Some equal stars, not dying immediately. So basic combo here, switching to Vegeta. That wasn't on purpose, the drop combo here. He knows damn well someone is gonna die here, so he's not switching. F4s are dead. Quick attack him here because it's damn obvious he would go for a death beam and I had no key. Here, I don't know if I even let myself get hit or dodged right there. Try to dodge, doesn't matter. Here I'm switching my units to get like, you know, to stack up Ultra Vegeta's damage. Here again. Normally I wouldn't go for a mid-range blast, but I had no other choice because we're not playing passive here. Otherwise I would have just backed up to long range and then blast so he can't blast armor through to get a guaranteed combo. Here again I'm switching around. And he's now managing to kill my revival after 100 timer counts, so it took him a while. This would also be a pretty easy situation for me. Because I would wait until he mains, and then go, Orly would go for tackle. And now watch what he does here. He's doing his damage. By the way, the ultimate didn't kill me. That's from 80% health, so again, second time I'm proven Vegeta is not dying immediately. He's destroying my hand now. Guess what he does now? He goes for the death beam, which I can't PV in that situation. And he said it's not allowed to switch, to sidestep, to dodge, then switch, and then sidestep again to dodge. Guess what happens here? He goes for the rush. And I called out even before we fight that he will only wants this rule just so he can do this. And he admitted later on himself, this is one of the most powerful things Ultra Frieza can do. And I know that. That's why I called it out, because I said specifically that's a rush, guaranteed rush tool you're gonna try to use. He's using it. Why do I have a problem with this? Because that proves to me that he needs restrictions to win a match. I would have dodged this easily, with ease, if I wanted to. I let myself get hit there, but didn't want to give him Revival Vegeta for this, so I let Vegeta take the hit. It's fine. I would have, if I dodged this, by the way, I would have won this match 100% with ease. 3-0. He wouldn't have even got one kill. So this was me being generous to him. Anyway, getting here my priority. And at this point, you can see how good Vegeta does damage for the fact that I didn't hit him full offensively. I'll switch to Vegeta to get Gauge gone and to rush him guaranteed before he switches. care. And at that point, got just Death Beam, went for the green so he has to dodge. Could have gone for a strike as well, but it doesn't matter. He dropped combo T on accident, and now I'm playing it with Vegeta. Who does bad damage, as you can see here. He was aware that I was gonna LF him here, so... Yeah, and that's the first match. Winning 2-0. Could have won it 3-0 if I wanted to. Now the second match. So in the first match I already proved my point. I only went to a second match because... why not? But he's like, oh, I was being lucky the first match. I wanted to have some other matches to say, we lost. Completely. So what do I do here? Go for a strike. What does he do? Go for AoE green. Notice how he's not trying to be active when he has a green card? But he's complaining about being passive again? Just saying. He went for a blue, I had to take force aided because... okay, punish him right here, drop combo on accident. He also wanted me to just eat that, by the way. Which, after him going for greens, I was like, nah. So, went for the blue. Tough. For a second blue because he went for a blast at close range, which was dumb. Got him for a sidestep. Yeah. This is just me farming a Dragon Ball at this point. Switch to Vegeta here. That was like 50% of his health. He was like, Vegeta does no damage, by the way. Just to point it out. Got priority there, which I don't care. Here I'm just building up Vegeta again. Use his key a bit. So the thing is, because I spammed every single time like a quick attack after I was done with a combo, I went for the blast immediately because it was so clear he won't go for taps to counter me, because this is how I like to play. I like to force people to do things the way I want, so they have to always play, you know, so I can, like, they have to play like I wanted to do. So that's what I did. I keep using my quick attacks, so he's like, okay, he's always going for quick attacks, and switch it up so he gets it for free. Yeah, rush because I thought he could switch, and I wanted to get my rush off because Super Saiyan 4 can destroy Dragon Balls, couldn't switch, so yeah. His best unit in the game is kinda out. Yeah, mained. He's always going for F-beams like this, so I started at this point to go for mid-range strikes because I'm damn aware that he's gonna do that. That's how he plays. And funny enough, he was complaining that I was sidestepping his death beams. I also just attacked him during his death beams, so just gonna ult him. And I killed him. And at that point I didn't care anymore because no way he can win. Oh. And see here, this is the thing too. He went for a quick attack. I strike because I knew it's punishable. He never did that. So now let me just Vegeta combo him because I can, and he did 60%. The rest, want to kill him now, don't want to waste time. pretty easy win. You can see here, he barely even touched me. Because at this point I know how he plays. And now, last match we had. So far, it was 2-0, and I already proved my point in the first match, so this is just me basically showing that I'm better than him, which he knows but doesn't want to agree. That's just how it is. Again, me going for mid-range strikes, he always vanishes those. Which should, by the way. So he got me. Use a blast card. I guess he didn't have any other choice. Went for a full-range strike. And went for a strike. Now just me spamming my cards. And to point this out, by the way, while Vegeta is more defensively built than offensively built, he's not meant there for damage. I have 2 high damage leaders, I don't need 3, so Vegeta is more of a second life guy there that also can do damage, but not his main objective. And here again, I went immediately and didn't switch to my other Vegeta. Oh, it's the next thing. I drop comboed here because obviously he lowered my ki, increased my arts cost, and I couldn't switch out. He now complained later on that I tried a drop combo attempt. It wasn't an attempt, I just simply didn't have any ki to do anything at all. Which is why I also thought this whole situation about not allowed to drop combo is just stupid. Because what happens when I come in a situation like this? Anyway. Here I'm just building up Vegeta again. Switched again, here switch again. Here go for full-range strike again, although I normally wouldn't. Here I messed up my timing. Whatever. I won the clash. By far. And now he basically can't do anything about my rush coming. And again, his Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta just dies quickly because my Vegeta does so much damage, which is my team strategy. I'm building up his damage by switching constantly. Tried to overdrive and completely missed. He went for the Tech Force blue card because if he switched into Freezer, he would survive the Vegeta blue card. So, can't switch. Dying. Mid-range strike here because he's going for... Well, I knew he was gonna do something right there. That's just the way how he plays. So, here get rid of his life, and then it's just Vegeta finishing this off. He barely even touched me. Couldn't do anything. So, what I basically proved is that this team can work. That's the first thing. Second thing is that I'm just simply better than him, because after all the restrictions this guy made, I agreed to the fight. Even let me get hit by a rush that he wouldn't have landed if I was playing normally. After all that, you guys think he was like, oh, you know what? You were right. Vegeta is a bit more tankier than you said. If any one of you thought this would happen, forget it. He completely disagrees. And now that you see the match, I will show you guys now what he wrote backward, then back. You can judge what you guys think about this. If he's wrong or right about what he wrote afterwards.
Alright, for some reason, when I go here in the comments, you can't see the comments he made later on after the fight, so I have to show you guys this here on the notifications on YouTube. And this was what he wrote after the fight. Good job proving that you're a passive player, you're not vanishing my death beans. you're supposed to get hit by them. He was meant to say, you're vanishing my death beams, you're supposed to get hit by them. He wants me to purposely let myself get hit. You tried multiple close range interaction despite being told not to. I literally just quick attacked or tackled him. He never said I'm not allowed to do that, he just said no unnecessary move to close range. Whatever that means. You mostly rely on vanishes. You guys can judge if that's true. It's a cowardly playstyle, also, by the way, the same person who vanishes to try to get a green card off me is talking about me being a passive player and relying on vanishes. Also, good job getting carried by the Super Saiyan 4 the entire time. The person who has 2 ultras in the game, but in his team, but wherever, you relied on him to do anything because Revival Vegeta doesn't do that much damage. Did you guys remember when I said Revival Vegeta did so much damage compared to everybody else? You don't remember? Good, me either. Your tag force were doing more than him. You also relied constantly on cover changes. I used debuffs, you were just cover change spamming. As like this is not allowed in the game, what is he trying to apply here? Yeah, that's the way he responded. Really sad. This is one answer to him. You can't be serious. He said no entering close range unnecessary. I did enter by quick attacking, following up with an attack immediately. That's aggressive play because I didn't just quick attack him, I attacked immediately afterwards. That's aggressive, that's not passive. He's not the smartest chef in the book, but book in the shelf. Chef in the book. I'm also not the greatest. I vanished to Death Beam twice in the match, which if you look at the first match, he went for a Death Beam where I had 0 vanish, so I had 2 options, dodging or let myself get hit. Guess what, he wanted me to get myself hit. And in the second time, he destroyed my hand, went for the Death Beam again. I had to dodge or let myself get hit, and guess what he did afterwards? He rushed, and I'm not allowed to dodge it because I can't switch. I can sidestep, switch, and then sidestep again. I'm not allowed to do that because he restricted that play. He set it in his rules so you get easier rushes, and he used it, and he still lost. And again, and that's proved my point, he needs handicaps to even hit me because he's too bad at the game. And I even use mid-range blast because I can't wait for him, or I can't go back to attack them later. And then I talk about Revival Vegeta, which I never said he had good damage. I just said he isn't. He's downplaying his defense. And not only did he manage to never kill him completely in 3 matches, he raw ulted me twice. With Ultra Vegeta and Frieza, he didn't one-shot. He said he would die in 1 hit. Never happened. Not even from 80% health, it never happened. And 2 out of 3 matches, he couldn't even get my revive. That's how hard I destroyed him. The guy with the better team who has... Remember his comparison. Super Saiyan Grade 2 Trunks versus Perfect Cell. That was his comparison from my team to his team. And I mean, it happened like this. I mean, he's right in how it happened in the second and third match because I destroyed him completely, but... yeah. Basically, I proved everything what I said. I said he isn't dying this quickly, he didn't die as quickly. He lived 2 raw ultimates, but the Unity said he would would one-shot him, so... And he doesn't know how Ultra Vegeta works, because the strategy is to switch a lot, building up his damage when he enters the battlefield next to do as much as damage as possible. And you know what's also funny is, now here come the next things he wrote. It gets more funnier than this. You constantly switch out of him, so I wouldn't pop a survival, and you really wanted to hold on to it, and you weren't really using that much. Wait, there was some other comment he had that was even more better. Yeah. No, that was with the supposed to get hit thing. Here. Now talking about the third match where you attempted to bait my step after dropping the combo, which was me having not enough ki, so I had to stop. Because he switched into freezer, I had no ki, and I had no switch, I couldn't do anything. And he said, yeah, twice too many, referring to the times I dodged his death beam. Yes, your tag force were supposed to get hit, not switch out and vanish like a passive player. Instead, if you weren't passive, you would switch and went for an attack to get hit by the death beam. He needs people to just click cards so he can win fights. He sucks at the game. If you don't have cards, then give up trying to escape the combo. My units overall are considered stronger, but you outright wouldn't allow me to use my kit, which is to get free combos. In other words, I destroyed him so bad he couldn't even play the game. That's what he's saying. And of course I used the Death Beam plus Rush tactic because that's the big reason why Freezer is OP. Notice he knows the tactic. Again, he knows the tactic and he needed a way to guaranteed hit that every single time, so he restricted the play that I could vanish in the situation. You're avoiding my Death Beams and then taking full advantage of Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta to the highest extent is the sole reason why you won. Like he couldn't use Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku and his team to win the same way. It's almost like I play better than him. And it's also funny that a lot of times I even mid-range striked him out of his Death Beam. Or tackled him out of his Death Beam. He's playing so obvious, I mean. You rely on Ultra Super Saiyan 4 to protect him, the only tanky unit on your team. Which, yeah. And he's talking about my card ceiling, shutting him down, like he doesn't use the same unit. Where Vegeta can't carry, which no one said he could. Using the switch attack, blah blah blah. If you want to prove Vegeta is so good, then run him without a top 3. Run him offensively and have no tanky units on your team, letting Vegeta alone tank all the combos receive, and I promise you he will get cooked. So he's saying is, to prove his point as his defense is bad, I need to let Revive Vegeta take every single hit in the game. In the entire match. Which would kill anybody. Bro, not even his Ultra Freezer tanked my Vegeta sits well. and here's more sad part. You're using a top 3 unit that is undeniably good. Why not use Revive Vegeta, Paper Cool and Sparking Saiyan Saga Goku from last year while I go ahead and run Triple Ultra? So this guy trash talked how his team is so much better than mine, how he would win easily, had his own rules set, lost 3-0 and now wants a rematch with me using worse units while he used the best units in the game. That is embarrassing, brother. Dude, no longer exiled, if you're watching this, and be ashamed of yourself. Be ashamed that you need so much handicap to beat me. Like, bro, it's okay to not be better than me. I'm not better than most other people too. It's okay. But this is just embarrassing. You need triple ultras and me to run Metal Cooler to win? You're that bad at the game. You already had your restrictions. And you were that bad at the game still. Pack it up, bro. Bro, that's just... Go to the wall of shame for this, bro. Go to the wall of shame. It's just embarrassing to look at it. Embarrassing that you wrote that confidently, bro. Embarrassing. And anyway, that was it for this whole thing. Everything else doesn't matter. I proved my point, basically and obviously. Now you guys can come here and say like, hey, you were kind of mean to this guy now by exposing him like that, and it's like, you could say that, but also I have 4 subscribers. Or 5. My average viewers are about 5 to 20 max. generally speaking. Like, I have some videos that have more, but most of the time it's not that much. Nobody's gonna care. So, but let me know what you guys think. Maybe, do you agree with him? You can, I'm free open to discussions, because I'm not here to say that my opinion is better than everybody else's. That's not my point, but if you get proven wrong that hard and then you still make excuses, that's just sad. Let me know what you guys think. See you guys in the next video.